Once upon a time, if you were a disgruntled customer, you had limited options: an angry letter, an enraged phone call, maybe a complaint to the Ombudsman or the ACCC if you were really motivated. But now Aussies are weaponising the power of social media with incredible outcomes.
Jetstar cancelled my flight and put me on one 9 days later. I'm actually in disbelief.
This is the biggest rip-off.
No, the cruise is not going today. Sorry. And we'll just go to Tassie instead of the South Pacific.
Doesn't make sense. Make it make sense.
They're the social media rants getting real-world results.
Companies actually have people employed to monitor their social media for negative sentiment. So if there's a complaint out there, companies really deal with it quickly.
Take regular Aussie consumer Simon Berry.
If you've booked a movie with Hoyts online in the past decade, you will know that they charge booking fees.
For 2 years, Simon emailed Hoyts over the way it's secretly added a booking fee right at the end of the ticket transaction, which is against consumer law.
I don't care about my own $1.70, but when there's millions of people that are customers, it adds up to millions of dollars for them.
And for 2 years, Hoyts fobbed Simon off with increasingly outrageous email responses.
It was something to the effect of that they will abide by any instruction from government bodies, which basically to me means that they're not going to do anything unless a government body tells them.
Until Simon uploaded his beef with the cinema company to TikTok.
Can we talk about how Hoyts has been breaking Australian consumer law for forever?
Next minute.
It got lots of views and I couldn't believe how quickly that they updated the website. I imagine that there was a fair bit of scrambling internally.
Simon is part of a new generation of social media vigilantes driving change, like the Reddit users who prompted an ACCC investigation and ultimately legal action over Coles and Woolies' misleading discounts.
By temporarily hiking more than 500 items before dropping the price to above the baseline.
Experts say the more followers you have, the more results you're likely to get. But even if you're not that popular, you can still have an impact.
It publicises it, and the public never had that opportunity to do that before, so companies could sort of behave like corporate bastards and get away with it. And now, thanks to social media, they can't.
So, have we finally found an effective way to keep the bastards honest?
Pretty frustrating that, you know, for something like the Coles and Woolies thing in particular, that it's got to wait till somebody puts it on social media. But as soon as it's visible and public, I think companies really, that's when they sort of turn around and go, ugh. Remember the days of the locked bag when you just send a letter and they could just burn it and throw it in the bin and nobody would know about it? But now it's like this stuff really gets groundswell.
Yeah, and look, this is great that consumers, we all have a voice now thanks to social media, but sometimes it can be used...
Oh, mate, if you're going
really dangerously.
Totally. If you're going to a local cafe and your egg was slightly not hot enough and you're going to be, taking them down on the Google reviews and ruining a mum and pop business.
It can actually be life-ruining. We've got research here. One bad restaurant review can result in up to 30 customers deciding to dine elsewhere.
Yes.
And I wonder, you know, where that line is between weaponising social media because you're having a whinge and putting companies on blast because they really deserve it.
Totally.
It's interesting, though, to think about the fact that these big companies are willing to respond and do the right thing when there's public pressure, but when there's not that public pressure, they're quite willing to not do it.
Oh, yeah, the difference is PR. It's all about PR for them, right?
Yeah.
If they think that it's going to relate in, end in a public relations issue, then they'll be like, oh, sorry, sir, let's remove that charge,